Don't come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, because the place where you're standing is holy ground. So I stood and looked around, pacing in the place of your presence, placing hands to face in reverence. I remembered that I looked nothing like you. Place our blueprints side by side and you'll see side eyes. I'm identical to the image that you laid out in Genesis, yes, but completely fraternal and opposite to your holiness, a spitting image of disgrace. Unworthy to kneel at the feet of the one whose shoes I can't even unlace, let alone tie. Mine. These sandals roped around my ankles like the shackles I've placed myself in from years of disobedience. How can one swift motion tear down the divide between you and I? I've marched around many Jerichos in my life, and these walls just won't come down. I'm more complex than the magazine, and just like it, I've subscribed to my monthly issue. So honestly, it wouldn't matter what I removed. You seem so concerned with my shoes, but didn't you notice the layers I wore every day? The layers that kept me comfortable yet left me too unqualified to be cleansed. I've read that a just man falls 7 times and gets up 8, but I've fallen more than 7 times just to become a just man. So understand me when I say I've lost faith in the way your grace can adjust. Man, God, sometimes I feel like you're asking for too much. If I take off my shoes, my feet will still carry remnants of dust. If I remove porn from my life, my heart will still carry remnants of lust. It's simple. I've become distracted by the things you subtracted from me, and that caused us division. The old version of me needed revision, so you made a new edition. No wonder I can't stand the rain, because in it, you can trace the tracks of mud trailing with every step taken to become more like you. Footprints of filth that end in guilt because I failed more than I followed, yet they tell me to come as I am. And for the longest time, I thought that was an invitation for self-awareness, but no one ever told me that there would be limitations, that I'd have to take off my shoes, or take off my hat, or take off my pride, or my jealousy, my insecurities, or the forgiveness that I lack, and my anger, or my hatred, or whatever else was holding me back from you. And now I see why you started with shoes. These sandals stand as a metaphor for my sin. Removing them would serve as my willful decision to put away my flesh and all its evil desires, to let them burn in the same bush you engulfed with fire, in the same flames you used to call my name and draw me toward holiness. It's funny, because at first I thought I'd come as I am, but now I see what happens when you come to the I am. You see, at first I was only seeing things on the surface. Didn't think my shoes on or off would make a difference until I realized that this removal led to my revival. What I thought was you simply protecting these souls was actually you protecting these souls. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. What you started in the Old Testament when you told me to remove my shoes was finished in the New when Jesus washed my feet, allowing me to fully take part in you. Now there's no excuse. Well, I can't find a place in your presence and a home in your heart. It was always your plan. The sin that sought to separate me from you was removed and replaced with the same saving grace given by your Son. He led the way so that I could choose to walk in the footsteps of freedom. Amen.